Wisdom Paves the Way is the third chapter in the first unit, Wit and Wisdom, of the NCERT Class 8 English textbook, Purvi. Scene 1. The Road to Ujjain. Once upon a time, 4 friends named Ram Dutt, Shiv Dutt, Har Dutt, and Dev Dutt set off on a long journey toward the grand city of Ujjain. They were bright young men, full of hope, seeking to find work and prove their worth to the king. By the 10th day, their legs were weary and the sun was hot. As they walked along the dusty path, they noticed a set of camel tracks. Instead of just walking past, they stopped to study them like a puzzle. One noticed a faint footprint, another saw unevenly chewed leaves, a third spotted tiny drops of blood on the ground. They whispered their observations to one another, nodding in agreement. Suddenly, a frantic merchant appeared, his face red with sweat and worry. "Pardon me, travelers," he cried. "Have you seen my camel? I've lost my livelihood." The friends looked at each other. Ram Dutt stepped forward and asked, "Was your camel lame in one leg?" "Yes, yes," the merchant exclaimed. Shiv Dutt added, "And was it blind in its right eye?" "Exactly," the merchant shouted, his hope rising. Har Dutt chimed in, "Did it also have a very short tail?" "That's my camel," the merchant cheered. Finally, Dev Dutt asked, "And was the poor beast suffering from stomach pain?" "You found it." The merchant danced with joy. "Tell me, where is it hiding?" The 4 friends looked at him calmly and replied, "We don't know. We haven't actually seen your camel." The merchant's joy instantly turned to fury. He thought they were mocking him. "How could you know every detail, down to its stomach ache? If you haven't seen it, you must have stolen it and sold it." Despite their protests that they had only used their wisdom to read the signs on the road, the merchant wouldn't listen. He grabbed them and insisted they march straight to the king's court in Ujjain to be tried as thieves. The 4 friends, confident that their logic would save them, agreed to go, and so the journey to the palace began. Scene 2. The King's Court. The court of Ujjain was silent as the 4 friends stood before the king, accused of theft. The merchant, red-faced with anger, shouted, "Your Majesty, these men described my missing camel perfectly. They must have stolen it." The king looked at the 4 young men. They didn't look like thieves, they looked calm. "How do you know so much about a camel you claim never to have seen?" the king asked. Ram Dutt stepped forward first. "Your Majesty, I looked at the ground. I saw 3 deep hoof prints and 1 very faint one. A healthy camel leaves 4 equal prints. I knew then the animal was lame." The king nodded, intrigued. Shiv Dutt spoke next. "I noticed the bushes. The leaves on the left side of the path were eaten, but the lush green leaves on the right were untouched. Only a creature blind in its right eye would miss such a meal." Har Dutt then explained the bloodstains on the path. The ground was covered in mosquito bites and drops of blood. If the camel had a long tail, it would have swished the flies away. Since it couldn't, I knew it had a short tail. Finally, Dev Dutt described the strange way the camel walked. The front tracks were heavy, but the back legs seemed to drag. "This is how an animal moves when it is doubled over in pain. I deduced it had a stomach ache." The merchant's jaw dropped. The king began to laugh, not at the merchant, but with joy at such brilliance. "This is not theft," the king declared. "This is the power of observation." Instead of a jail cell, the king offered them seats of honor. He realized that while many people look, very few actually see. From that day on, the 4 friends became the king's most trusted royal advisors, proving that wisdom truly paves the way to greatness. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe.